We are grateful to our sponsors, Kelly Stafford with Stafford Tree Service, and also Black Kow Cow Manure. If you need your trees trimmed locally, remember Stafford Tree Service at staffordtreesvc.com. And please visit Black Kow Cow Manure, that's K-O-W. Remember, both of the contact details are in the description below. A lot of people want plants that are hardy, and so they go to the Agaveaceae family. There are hundreds and hundreds of varieties of Agaveaceae that you can grow. A lot of people like to use them in rock gardens because you don't have to do anything. If you're the ultimate lazy gardener, this is the plant for you. Or if you like to make your own tequila, this could be the plant for you. We use a number of these species. They've been used by the Aztecs, the Mayans. For millennia, they were used to make, well, different alcoholic drinks. You know, it wasn't just the Americans that came up with alcohol. This one has a bad leaf on it, so I'm gonna probably use my little alcohol wipe, and we're gonna clean the cutter so we're not the spreaders of disease. And you see a bad spot, now this has one little bad leaf here. See if I can get it without getting stuck too bad. Oh, and it will. It's gonna stick me. Of course it will. I knew this was a bad idea to begin with, but I'm always a glutton for punishment. We're gonna cut off the edge of that leaf. And you can see when it has that brown little spot, sometimes going in and trimming off that one little area is simpler than trying to do mass trimming. You may want to come in and take off some of the tips of the leaves just because, well, often that's where kids back into them and get stuck. My biggest problem with the big varieties of this is occasionally kids fall into them and lose an eye. So it's not really a plant that I would have typically in my landscape, but if you want something that's tough and rough and gruff and that people won't back or run over too much, well, I guess it has a place. I must admit they have a neat look. They have kind of that spacey look. They're going off in all different directions. I've just never been a big fan, but many people are. So if you like this cactus and succulent look, well then have at it. I personally think there are better choices. Now, if you've got them out in the desert and you're making tequila from them, okay, I understand that they rise in prominence in your need and want. So yes, there's a place for them. Not in my landscape, but in your landscape possibly, you may wish to have the Agaveaceae. I think in a rock garden where you have it protected, where you're not going to be getting in around it on a regular basis, it has a good place. And there again, I'm going to take off another one of these little sharp edges just because I don't like them. But for other folks, it could be a good choice, I would think. Now, the Agaveaceae are not going to need much water. So if you have a xeriscape, you've got an area in the backyard where you don't have any water, or maybe the front of your townhouse or your community where you have nothing but kind of an open area, I've seen them used there. I wouldn't use them there, but some people would. So if that floats your boat, I can understand it. The Agaveaceae, they're in that succulent group, kind of like cacti, and they are tough. I will say they're kind of monomorphic, and that meaning they'll flower once and they die. So when it sends up that one flower spike, that particular plant can be removed and a new little plant will come up from the base. So you'll see that in century plants. The old timers used to think, well, they only flower once a century. Turns out they probably flower once every 10 to 20 years, but 10 or 20 years is kind of a long time for most of us. As far as fertilizer, they probably don't need much, but you could throw maybe a handful of 666 or something of that nature around the plant if you want to give it a little bit of oomph and make them look better. As far as water, we said doesn't matter too much. Give them a little water to start with, and once they're established, you can put them into a rock garden and pretty much forget them except in the real driest of times. As far as light, 6 to 8 hours of sunlight would be best. for them to grow as compact as you might wish to have. Agaveaceae, rock gardens, make a pretty good choice. Once again, I want to thank everybody out there for telling all your neighbors and friends, all your garden clubs, all your civic groups. We appreciate you telling everybody about our show. And more importantly, for all of you who subscribe, we thank you. Thanks for watching.